Jake Barber is the name everybody's talking about, and we're talking about him once again today. So James Barber, I know him as Big Eye Guy. The guy that has massive, like, open eyes that just don't blink that much. Seems like he's seen some shit. I've been saying that since he has been talking in the public domain. He's a pilot that has like that stick that sticks out to pick shit up, in the military, and he's part of the crash retrieval program. And this interview is supposedly happening tonight as of this recording, which is fucking insane. So the full thing's coming out. This guy is what everyone's talking about. There's some statements that's made by him, interviews by Ross Coulthard, Lou Elizondo, all of the above. Guys, what a time. Subscribe notifications on to not miss any upload and up-to-date information. We're trying to grow this channel 500 subs, 10 likes for this video. Share, that helps the absolute most, and let's watch this video.
Can I say I'm very convinced that Jake Barber is a former top tier 1 military personnel. He's served at the highest levels of the US military, the US Air Force. His service is corroborated by 3 people on the program and 2 of his colleagues who've worked with him.
Every time I hear the words "the program," I think about James Fox and that, like, ending screen. The program, it's suspense and all that. So these people inside this program is verifying a lot of these claims. Ross really does his homework, as we always say. He really dots the O's and I's, or however the fuck you say that. And he really does the check on them to make sure they're credible before making any of what he learns from them public, right?
On what he euphemistically refers to as the range where these objects were recovered, backing his story. And they are also former Tier 1 operatives, the very highest elite of the US military. We've been able to confirm Mr. Barber's service with him. We've been with him when he's gone to give evidence to the Senate Select Committee for Intelligence. And we've been watching over his shoulder as he's also briefed ARROW, the Pentagon's UFO office. And it's quite clear everyone's taking his information very seriously. The big question is anybody going to do anything about it?
What's an HI?
You want to take that question? NHI stands for non-human intelligence. It's basically, Chris, the vernacular that's used now to describe something that is not of human origin, basically a biological specimen or a technology that's created by something that is intelligent but is not human.
What do you make of that, Lou?
Well, look, if this turns out to be legitimate, then you're talking about a story that's probably even bigger than the 2017 story the New York Times broke when I first came out, and some of my colleagues. This is a tier 1 operator. So think of the best, people who've been psychologically evaluated on a regular and continuing basis. They have top secret security clearances. They take drug tests, polygraph examinations, and they are really
Why the fuck do they take polygraph examinations? I thought everyone already knows that those things give false positives and are not reliable in any capacity. So I don't know why that is even brought up, but yeah, it's true that these tier 1 higher level top secret people, they have to take drug tests and they have to report if they're on antidepressants of any kind. So it's really serious how these people's mental health is taken. And I think in some circumstances where people feel it's necessary for national security or whatever the fuck weird reason, I think the government is allowed to look into each other's, like, personal life, family members, because Bob Lazar, if he's legitimate and credible, reported that his wife was cheating on him, and the government let him go because they knew that was happening and they wanted to push away from the drama, and then he retaliated by blowing the whistle, etc. I think that's how the story goes, but let me know if I'm wrong.
America's best of the best. They're our finest operators in special operations. So whenever anything bad goes down, these are the folks that you call to go and fix it. And so when you have someone of his caliber coming out to have this conversation with the American people, that says a lot. People better be paying attention. If it turns out what he's saying is legitimate, this is going to be perhaps one of the biggest stories, frankly, over the last 50 years, perhaps.
Ross, what are the questions for you after what we'll learn in the special tomorrow night?
Look, the simple fact is that there's a problem, Chris. The Pentagon is consistently trying to evade answering questions on this subject. They've told us that they have confirmed that Jacob Barber's claims have been made, that they're aware of the claims, but they're maintaining their persistent claim that there is no evidence of any programs regarding the possession of reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials.
They are literally just fucking denying it at this point. Still no comment, all this happening, burning around. That meme where the fucking cartoon is sitting down and the house is burning and it says, this is fine, right? That's the Pentagon at this point.
And I can tell you, Mr. Barber has overwhelming evidence. That evidence was provided originally to Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick by a member of his team, including imagery. And for some reason, that imagery and other data disappeared when the new ARROW director, the new Pentagon UFO boss, tried to investigate this material. He couldn't find it anywhere in the Pentagon's UFO office. It would appear someone had lost it. And I think what's going on here is the ARROW, the Pentagon's UFO office, is being used as a foil. It's basically being used by the Defense Department to try to fob off any further public transparency. And frankly, I think we're now on a slippery slope because Mr. Barber, as a whistleblower, is just the beginning. There are many more in the sidelines.
Lou, weren't you one of the guys that used to make that stuff disappear so the rest of us couldn't find out about it?
I mean, yeah, Chris, I was at a time one of those guys. You know, some people have accused me of being one of the men in black. I prefer to be referred to now as one of the men in white, trying to bring transparency and some information into the public eye. Ross has done an incredible job with this. By the way, he's been sitting on this now for almost a year and a half, if I'm not mistaken, Ross. And I know individuals that I personally am aware of that I'm friends with that are also former special operations operatives that were helping in the security of this individual because, like many of us, he feared for his life because of the information that he had is so explosive. Think about this for a second. Surprise, surprise. Sean Kirkpatrick, the former ARROW director, saying, well, you know, yes, someone may have talked to us, but we don't have any more of the evidence that was supplied to us. The new ARROW director, I think, is taking this topic very seriously. Frankly, I'm very optimistic that maybe we'll get somewhere with this new director. But the last director had showed himself over and over again, frankly, in my opinion, to not be very truthful to the American people and to Congress. And so now we have this whistleblower coming out, and you're going to see, I guess, in video of him actually going and reporting this information to key figures in our government.
So I am so excited by this, right? There's so much footage there must be of all this crash retrieval teams, operations, all these crafts. It's sounding like this is a super complex program / umbrella program, and yeah, I can't wait to see what comes out because it's sounding really bizarre, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I certainly watched the preview that Ross Coulthard put out yesterday. So today is Thursday, just so people know when they watch this, the day after Ross put out this amazing, you know, clip from this interview that he's going to do on Saturday, which hasn't happened yet. So in the meantime, you know, so it was all pretty new to me when that interview came out. I mean, it's not like I knew this person or anything, but I did check with some sources who are in a position to know and who know this person, this Jake Barber, who have verified the credibility of that person. And these are people I really trust and, as I said, are in a position to know because they know him. So I'm very happy. I mean, I think this is a major breakthrough, assumedly, that this is a firsthand witness, and he has videos and images and sensor data and all kinds of stuff like that he's also has already provided to ARROW, which is kind of extraordinary. He provided this data to ARROW under Sean Kirkpatrick, and then there's a report that comes out and says there's no evidence for anything extraterrestrial. Well, I don't know how that and came down. And it, you know, but then he went again and provided the same information to the new director, John Kozlowski, who assumedly is more open than Kirkpatrick was. But, you know, he has done his duty. He has done the work that he needs to do. He's on the right, he's following the right path by going to Arrow and also going to Congress. He's also been to congressional staffers and talked to them. The same way that David Grusch did, you know, he followed all the right steps. So yeah, I think it's a big step. We've had 3 people so far of great significance: Dave Grusch, Carl Nell, and then Luis Elizondo at the November congressional hearing, all talking about the reality of crash retrievals, the reality of NHI. And now we have a 4th person who may be even more significant, as you said, James, because he's a firsthand witness, and there were others with him apparently who can verify what happened. Whether they're going to come forward or not, we don't know. You know, we'll learn a lot more on Saturday when we see Ross's presentation. But I also take my hat off to Ross Coulthart for the hard work that he has done to bring this about. I mean, he's playing a huge role in disclosure, and this could be a pivotal moment. But I don't know everything about it yet, but it seems like it has the potential of being certainly as significant as the David Grusch moment was. And it's just taking us another step closer because we have, as you say, a firsthand witness. So I'm very excited about it.
When is it on Saturday?
It's going to be
8 o'clock
Saturday.
on News Nation. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And allegedly there are going to be 3 individuals that are coming forward with their name and credentials that are going to verify his story on that program.
I didn't know that.
So
on that program. Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty major.
It's major. It's unbelievable.
You said 3 individuals who are going to verify the story?
Yeah.
Shnikes.
Right. Plus the video footage and pictures, or, you know, whatever he has to also support his claim in regards to crash retrieval. You know, although from what I heard that there's much more to his story than just crash retrieval. I don't know what's going to make it into the final cut, and how long that, you know, if it's going to be followed up on. But from what I understand, it goes pretty deep.
I've heard that too, but I think I hope, because I'm very strategically oriented in my reporting, so I'm hoping that they roll it out in stages and not just overwhelm people.
I think that's the case.
You got to be so careful how you do things. You know, it's something this explosive.
So I'm really a big fan of Leslie Keen's choice of word here, right? Explosive, because that's what it's feeling like. News Nation, the last time there was this much hype for a News Nation like expose, right, was Lou Elizondo, and that was the biggest one ever after David Grusch, right? Wait, no, David Grusch was the first one on News Nation. I don't know if he was like brought out on News Nation, but now there's 3 coming all at once. Shit's getting so mad. These are first-hand witnesses. Guys, what the fuck is even happening, right?